Everybody knows that you need protein in order to build muscle mass, but today we're going to cover exactly how much protein that you need and also give you some great protein ideas of things that you can incorporate into your meals and your snacks to help you build muscle. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jordan. I post weekly fitness content to help you get in the best shape of your life. I'm currently doing a full bulking series where I'm posting videos every single week to show you how to build muscle mass while minimizing body fat gain. So if you're interested in content like that, make sure that you subscribe. And if you find anything helpful in this video, hit that thumbs up button for me. So like I said, we're going to talk about all things protein today. We're going to cover exactly how much protein that you need in order to maximize your results in the gym. Now, I also do want to say that I have a link down in the comment section below where it'll take you to my website and you can fill out a form. And once you fill in that form, I can customize your macros and send them back to you for free. So in today's video, we're going to talk about just protein. But if you don't know how many carbs, fat, protein, or what your macros should be, like I said, after you're done watching this video, go down in the comment section, click on that link, fill out that form, and I will customize your macros for free. Protein is one of the most foundational things that we need to incorporate into our diet to build muscle mass. When we come into the gym, we're not building any muscle mass. And I think that's one common misconception where people think that they go to the gym and that they're actually building muscle when they're lifting weights. But actually what we're doing is we're breaking down muscle tissue, and it's that 24 to 72 hours after the workout where we rebuild new tissue. And one of the most foundational things that we can do in order to help this process is to incorporate protein into our diet. When we eat protein and we ingest protein, our body's going to break down that protein into amino acids, and that's going to go into the muscle. That's going to help repair the tissue and actually help you build new muscle mass. So yes, in order to build muscle, you need to have protein in your diet. You need to have an adequate amount of protein because it's not just any magic pill. It's not just something that magically is going to help you build muscle. All we're doing is we're helping the working muscles repair. Every time you come to the gym, you're breaking down those muscles. So you need to consistently have enough protein in your diet, and you need to evenly space it, and we'll talk about that later in the video, throughout your day in order to maximize the amount of progress that you can make, in order to recover, in order to also recover to where you can come in, consistently work out, and make progress. So that's another huge reason why you need protein in your diet, is because it's going to help you recover from workout to workout. Because yeah, maybe you can hit the first 1 or 2 workouts of the week really hard, but you're building up so much fatigue and so much soreness to where you're not eating enough protein, and that's making you under-recover from workout to workout. It's going to be really hard to be consistent with your workouts, and if you're not consistent, you are not going to see the progress that you want to see. So again, protein is going to help you recover. It's not a magic pill. It is simply just helping the muscle tissues repair back up to normal, and hopefully just a little bit more than they were from where you started before the workouts. So now that you understand why you need to eat protein in your diet, let's talk about specifically how much, and then we'll also talk about how to space it throughout your day to really maximize your progress. So, good rule of thumb for anybody that is trying to build muscle and is actively lifting weights every week, a good rule of thumb is to be at least at 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So say that someone is 200 pounds, for example. That person, bare minimum, needs to eat 140 grams of protein a day. Now, ideally, they need to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, so they would be aiming to hit 200 grams of protein. And you might be like, holy crap, that's a lot of protein. How am I going to structure that throughout my day? We'll talk about that in a second, how you can structure your protein, revolve it around good protein sources so that you can consistently hit that number, because that's the whole key. Is you can't be sporadic with your workouts. You also can't be sporadic with your nutrition, and you can't be sporadic with your protein intake. Otherwise, you're not going to see the progress that you want to see. So if you're somebody that is really trying to maximize the amount of muscle mass that you can build, I would definitely try to stay on that limit of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, you might not be there right now. Maybe say that you're 200 pounds and you track your protein, and you're like, I'm only getting 100 grams of protein. I don't expect you to go from 100 grams today to 200 grams tomorrow. So maybe your next goal would be to get to that 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You don't have to do this overnight, because if we go overnight, more than likely you're going to have some stomach distress, or you're just not going to be able to be consistent with it because it's not a habit yet. So start off small. If you're not currently there, come up with a game plan of how you can get to that 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight and eventually get up to the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, because that will make a difference in your recovery and it will make a difference in the amount of muscle mass and the progress that you can make in the gym. So if you're 200 pounds and you're trying to get 200 grams of protein throughout the day, that's a lot of protein. And that's something that you can't just space this into 3 meals and think that you're going to consistently hit that protein, digest it well, and really use it. So the best way to structure this, no matter what your weight is, whether you're 150 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, no matter your protein goal and your protein intake requirement, the best way to structure this is to structure your nutrition around 3 meals and 2 snacks, where you're evenly spacing that protein out throughout the day around 5 times that you're eating. So for example, if you're 200 pounds, that's going to help you break it up into 5 meals, 3 meals and 2 snacks. We're eating 40 grams of protein. By doing this, it's going to be easier to hit that protein amount. It's going to be easier also to digest that protein and make sure that we're actually utilizing it. And it's going to be easier to stay consistent with hitting that protein, because each meal and each snack, you're really focusing on structuring it around your protein source and making sure that that is the priority first, and then focusing on your carbs and your fat source and structuring everything else around it. So if you really prioritize each meal around your protein source and you make sure that you're hitting the certain amount of protein that you need at each meal, it's really going to help you get to that number throughout the day and then build that out consistently, where you do that 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row, 1 week in a row, 1 month in a row, 6 months in a row. And that's where you really start to see that progress, is when you're really consistent with hitting your protein intake. So now that we've talked about why we need protein, now we've talked about how much protein you need, let's talk about the protein sources that are going to be good at helping you build muscle mass. Now, typically when you're picking protein sources, you want to stick to mostly your lean protein sources. So things like poultry. So if you're looking at poultry, good sources of protein are going to be chicken, turkey, fish. Those are going to be very lean sources of protein that aren't going to add a ton of fat content onto the protein and really boost the caloric content. Because yes, we do want to eat enough calories to support new lean muscle mass gain, but we also don't want to be eating really, really fatty cuts of meat at every single meal. That will really crank up the amount of calories that you're eating, and over time, that's going to lead to excess body fat gain. Other great sources of protein are going to be leaner cuts of beef, leaner ground beef. Eggs are a great protein source, or egg whites, even incorporating things like Greek yogurts, cottage cheese, or even using protein powders and protein shakes as an extension of your diet. At the end of the day, you need to find foods that you enjoy, because if you enjoy the foods that you're eating, you're going to be able to stay consistent with your protein intake. Because if you're choking down tuna packets or you're choking down egg whites, but you absolutely hate eating that food, you are not going to stay consistent with it. So find foods that you enjoy, that you can eat. You can stay the same every single day if that works for you. You can switch up your protein sources if you want, but find a system that works for you and structure each meal around a protein source. So for breakfast, you're going to maybe incorporate some eggs and some egg whites. For lunch, maybe you're incorporating a tuna packet or some ground turkey, ground beef. For dinner, maybe you're doing a cut of beef or some fish or a pork chop or any source of protein around that meal. For snacks, maybe you're doing things like Greek yogurts or cottage cheeses, or you're mixing in a scoop or two of protein to help boost your protein throughout the day. Find structure that's going to work for you. And like I said, make sure that you focus on your protein source first around each meal and each snack. And that's going to help you get to your protein that you need throughout the day. And it's going to help you stay consistent. It's going to help you recover better. And you're going to be able to stay in the gym and make more progress and reach your goal of building more muscle mass. So I want to know what questions you have. Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to help you out any way that I can. And if you found anything helpful in this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. Like I said, I'm posting weekly fitness content to help you get in the best shape of your life, help you build muscle while minimizing the amount of body fat that you gain. So if you have not done so already, subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on that content. One thing I do want to say before I end the video is I just started a podcast with my wife. So we are parents, we're gym owners, we're personal trainers, and in our podcast, we talk about, yes, health and fitness topics, but we also talk about things that the gym and life has taught us. So if you're looking for a great new fitness podcast, go check it out. The name of the podcast is called the Grind, Sleep, Repeat Podcast. I actually have it on YouTube, so you can find it on my YouTube channel, but you can also find it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and other places where you get your podcasts. So I will leave the link in the description below. Go check that out if you guys are interested in a new fitness podcast and what we have to say. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.